Hey, welcome to Act 4 of Romeo and Juliet Vocabulary. Make sure you have all your notes and you are ready to go. See, our first word today is going to be evasive. The definition of evasive is tricky, or misleading with words. A synonym is deceptive. I like to think of politicians when I hear the word evasive. They're always trying to talk around questions. The antonym would be a direct response, or telling somebody simply the answer. It's an adjective, and our sentence, even though the criminal swore on the Bible, his answer on the witness stand were still evasive. Another easy way to think of it, think of like getaway drivers. They're trying to get away from something. That is called evasive driving. Alright, just an easy way to remember it. No video for this one, I'm sorry. Our next word is pallor. Pallor is a paleness in skin color, kind of a whiteness. The antonym is tan or flushed, and it is an adjective. As the girl listened to the ghost story, her face took on an unnatural pallor. Our video for this one is actually something that you will not usually see in the wild, but it's kind of interesting. Sometimes when you hear the word pallor, you might think of albinos. And here's a little collection of albino animals, so you can kind of see the light colored fur versus what their natural color might be. Most of these animals would not survive in the wild because of their pallor. Our next word is shroud. The definition for shroud is a cloth or sheet in which a corpse is wrapped for burial. A synonym, covering or a blanket. Antonym would be nothing really, or just being left out in the open. Shroud is a noun. In the Odyssey, Penelope weaves and unweaves a shroud for I can never say his name, we're going to call him Telemac. For Telemachus' father, in order to put off marrying the suitors. And here I'm just going to show you some Google images of a couple of shrouds. Shrouds are kind of something we don't want to show videos of because usually they're on dead bodies. So we're just going to show you a couple different versions here. These are all examples of shrouds people could buy. Almost like a body bag, but it's more decorative and meant for burial. Alright, there's enough pictures there. One of my favorite words, lament. The definition is to mourn or grieve deeply. You see the crying little baby there. A synonym would be wail or bawl. The antonym would be celebrate or be happy. And lament is a verb. On September 11th, 2001, people lamented the loss of many innocent lives. This movie is The Odyssey, and this is one of the reasons I like the word lament so much. The woman in white is Odysseus' mother. She's getting ready to kill herself. The woman in the very back in brown is who we're going to focus on, and she is her servant, and she is very deeply saddened about her future death, so she is lamenting in the background. This is funny. This little scene should just make you laugh, and it's coming up real quick here. Just keep an eye on the lady in the background. Starts with the head tapping, and then after the final death scene, we get some little kind of dance. Probably one of the worst acting situations I think I've seen in a very, very long time. Everybody's so sad. And we're going to wrap up Act 4 vocab with ninny. The definition of ninny is a fool. The antonym would be a genius. Synonym would be a simpleton. Um, and the part of speech is now. The stepbrothers are ninnies. They are middle-aged men who still live at home and act like children. I would love to show you clips from the movie The Step Brothers, but I couldn't find any that were quite appropriate. So I'm going to show you a few other Will Ferrell clips from different movies. Here's our first example from Ricky Bobby.
We got 2 knives in my leg. Coming out. I'm choking on my own spit. It hurts so bad. I'm choking on my own spit.
And our next one is going to be from the movie The Elf.
You know, what are you just saying? The worst toy maker in the world. I'm a cotton-headed ninny muggins. Buddy, you're not a cut. Yeah.
That pretty much covers us for Act 4 vocabulary for Romeo and Juliet. Quick review of the words. We've got evasive, which is tricky or misleading with words. Pallor, a paleness in skin color. Shroud, a cloth or sheet in which a corpse is wrapped for burial. Lament, to mourn or grieve deeply. Ninny, a fool. And that wraps it up. So be ready for some sort of vocabulary exercise tomorrow at school, and have a good night.